We covered building a C major chord and making slight variations on it in Ableton in the previous lesson. If you need a refresher, click here. It's all well and good to be able to click the notes of a chord into Ableton, but it's a lot faster to play them in. You don't need to be a piano master to be able to do this either. Let's learn how to play C major and its inversions as well as sus2 and sus4 voicings on the piano keyboard. Let's add a chording instrument to Ableton first. Go to Browser, Instrument, Instrument Rack, Piano, and Keys, Old School Rhodes. Then, right-click in the first cell of the track, or Shift-Control-M to add a MIDI track. Make sure you're in the MIDI note editor window too. If not, you can toggle back and forth between device view and editor view with Shift-Tab. Play some notes. You should see them light up red in Ableton. Finding C in every octave is important. This is a guaranteed test question too. Notice the 2 black key, 3 black key pattern on the keyboard. The note to the left of the 2 black keys is always C. This is C. This is C an octave up. Don't be afraid of these music terms either. The word octave uses the prefix oct, like octopus and octagon, meaning 8. So an octave is a fancy word to describe the interval of 8 notes. While we're on the subject, the other intervals have names too, but they don't have fancy names. This is the interval of a second. C is 1, and the note next to C is D. They are a second apart. 1, 2. C and E are a third apart. 1, 2, 3. C, E. C and F are a fourth apart. C to G is a fifth. C to A is a sixth. And C to B is a seventh. C to C is an octave. Don't call it an eighth. Incidentally, this next note is D again, and this makes the interval of a ninth. Notice that these 2 Ds are an octave apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Anyway, I can build my C chord here on the keyboard just like we did in the MIDI editor of Ableton using 1, 3, and 5 of the C scale. That's C, E, and G. Since C is the root of the chord, and that C is the lowest note in the chord, I have a root position C chord. By taking the lowest note of the chord C and moving it up the octave, I have voiced this chord in first inversion. I just changed the order of the notes. Doing this again, that is, moving the E, which is now the lowest note, up an octave, gives me a C chord in second inversion. So the G is the lowest note in the chord here. Doing this process one more time, moving the G back up an octave, gives me a root position C chord again, because this C is the lowest note. There is a neat interactive page on the Ableton website on inversions, so click here to check that out. I can also replace the third of the chord with the notes close by, the 2 and the 4. Replacing the third with the 2 makes a C sus2, like this. And replacing the third with the 4 creates a C sus4. Suspensions work in any inversion too. Here's a C chord in first inversion. I'm going to change this to C sus4 and back. Here's a C chord in second inversion. Now I'll make it C sus2. Okay, here's your assignment. Change the loop length to 4 bars. And then record yourself playing variations on a C chord. Use a new voicing for each bar, and use some inversions and suspensions. Here's an example. Okay, when you're done, save your work as C chord variations, your name. And let me have a listen. Now, answer these few quick questions on chords. Good luck!